What we have is 20 questions.
20?
20 questions.
That wasn't what I signed up for.
The 20 power questions. Alright, so you ready?
Yes, sir.
Some of them are easy.
Okay.
What is your name?
John.
Where do you work?
Everywhere.
What are the details of your occupation?
It's a really good question, that, you know. I educate people on the tools necessary to modernise their applications.
Excellent. How long have you been working around power systems and IBM I and its predecessors?
Oh, gosh. 20 years?
Who was your first mentor and how did they impact you?
My first mentor. Guy called Frank Martell, who was my supervising SE in London some 40 odd years ago.
And so how did he impact you?
He basically showed me what it meant to give customer service and to exceed the customer's expectations, to basically to know when to cut and run on a situation that you were never going to win no matter what, and in all other cases to exceed what the customer expected.
Cool. What was the first thing that made you excited about this platform?
I'd been working on ICL mid-range, and then I'd come to Canada and worked on ICL mid-range and then worked on mainframes. And I got so frustrated with the mainframes, with ISPF and kicks and everything else, and the fact that when you got your program working correctly, by the time it went through sysgen along with everybody else's crap at night, the test results might not work anymore. And I went on to a contract to convert an NCR Century to a System 38. So I had to learn at the same time as I was actually doing the conversion. And I just fell in love with the box. Fell in love with the System 38, with the fact that the command structure all worked properly, the fact that when you got a program working in test mode, by golly, it worked when you moved it into production too. What a bloody miracle, you know? And I went back to the consulting house that I worked for at the time and basically walked in the door of the boss's office and said, don't ever send me on anything but a System 38 again. And I did work on 34 and 36 after that, but yeah, they were poor seconds to 38 and 400.
So what was the most recent thing that made you excited about the platform?
PHP. Getting PHP on the books was a huge plus for me.
What's the silliest power or I related event that has happened to you in your career?
Silly event?
Silliest thing that happened to you?
It happened to me. You mean not counting IBM's propensity for renaming things? Oh dear. I honestly can't think of anything specific. I'll let you know later if I think of anything.
Alright, we'll come back to that one. What's the most important thing to happen to the platform in your career?
In my career? Moving to risk.
What do you see as the largest ever outside influence on the IBM I industry?
For good or evil?
Yes.
For good, the increasing openness of the platform, opening up to commercial standards, and which sort of culminated in the PHP MySQL type stuff. For evil, the fact that it's completely ignored by the rest of IBM, and it was obviously a good idea for Rochester at one point to be an isolated little enclave, but to the point we're in now, where IBM's own people frequently sell against it, is sad. So that's the low part.
Which person do you see as the largest ever influence on the IBM I?
The obvious answer is Frank, isn't it? Frank Saltis. But for me, I would have to say people like Dick Baines and some of the other boys in Rochester who Bill Davidson had on the database front had a huge influence on me. Dick Baines, who sadly passed away last week, had a terrific influence on me because he was the original writer of most of the compilers I worked on. When we came from 38 to, he wrote the 38 compilers, and when we moved to the 400, it was his code I was working with. So he had an enormous influence on me.
What do you see as the biggest blunder that IBM has ever made related to the IBM I?
Oh, apart from changing its name like the underwear, yeah. I think I'm not sure it was a failure. I think it was. I'm rather afraid sometimes it was inevitable that you get into a situation where the very fact of the box's ability to run without thousands of consultants to keep it going means that as IBM switched into being a services company, it became less and less attractive to sell. And so its own success works against it in a services-driven world.
What do you see as the best thing IBM ever did for IBM I?
I mean, the AS400 itself, I mean, you know, evolving the 38 and consolidating the platforms. I think it was a failure to, the problems arise from a failure to capitalize on what they had there and to move forward, you know, with the graphical interface, etc., the stuff that in many ways they still haven't done.
You willing to commit to this on film?
I just did.
What's your favourite RPG opcode?
Favourite RPG opcode. How can you have a favourite RPG opcode? Monitor. Monitor, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favourite non-work related pastime?
Magic. Magic and music. There are two.
What do you see as the future of power systems and IBM I?
Mm-hmm.
Give it to me in one sentence.
One sentence. The future as I hope, or the future as I fear. That's the difference.
One sentence for each then.
One sentence for each. My fear is that IBM's interest in selling services will further encourage them to sell against the platform. My hope is that we've seen at PHP conferences and things that I've been to that there's a tremendous interest in the platform. And I wish and hope that IBM will exploit that. That was 2 sentences.
That'll do. So what are you doing to ensure the future of power systems and IBM I?
Plugging away, educating, and these days preaching to the PHP world as well as to the IBM I world.
What's the name of your website?
Partner 400. Horrible though, it's terribly out of date.
Why would anyone contact you?
Because I'm cute? I've got a good accent. I don't know. Why would anybody contact me? Yeah. If they need the services I supply.
And question 20 out of the 20 power questions. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I don't want to grow up. Oh.